This video starts with something that could almost be a gift. Waking up famous, revisiting a memory, being paid only for work you love. Then, one scenario at a time, it gets heavier. Death without warning. Privacy gone completely. A hospital system that forces families to choose. A fear you can no longer hide from anyone standing near you. 8 scenarios, and by the end, you'll understand exactly why the light ones and the heavy ones belong in the same video. They're testing the same thing, just from different directions. How much of daily life depends on things we never examine until they're taken away? Let's start with something that sounds like luck. In a parallel world, you woke up this morning with 40 million followers. No idea why. Your phone's been ringing since 4 a.m. Strangers claim to be your agent, your publicist, you're trending. The reason is buried under thousands of notifications you can't dig through fast enough. Fame arrived before the explanation. It usually does. What would you want to have gone viral for? Waking up famous is chaos, but it's survivable chaos. Here's a scenario where survival itself becomes the uncertain part. In another universe, the body stops aging at 25. Permanently. But death still arrives, random, unannounced. No illness, no decline, just an unpredictable end that could come any day. Medicine largely dissolves, except for trauma care. Every day is statistically your last, and statistically not, at once. Philosophy splits. Live like it's your final day, or admit that stopped meaning anything after year 40. Would random death with no aging be better or worse than what we have? Random death reframes every ordinary day. So does the ability to relive any single one of them perfectly for 10 minutes. In a parallel world, you can revisit any memory in perfect, full sensory detail. 10 minutes, once a day. Grief changes completely. The bereaved return to perfect versions of lost people daily. Courts change too. Testimony verified against a witness's own perfect recall makes lying almost impossible. The hardest part is regret. Perfectly revisiting the moment before a wrong turn makes it impossible to look away from. What memory would you revisit first? Perfect memory is something you choose to revisit. The next scenario removes the choice entirely. Nothing about anyone stays hidden anymore. In another timeline, privacy ended in 2021. Not a law, a technological failure that became permanent, then normal. Every message, transaction, and location visible to anyone who looks. The first year is chaos. Then something shifts. With everyone equally exposed, the power of any one secret collapses. Discrimination spikes, then drops, as the people doing it find their own lives just as visible. Would you rather know everything about everyone or nothing? A world with no digital privacy is one kind of exposure. Here's the same idea taken further. Total visibility with no screen involved at all. In another branch, every person on Earth is observable by anyone who chooses to look. Anytime. No cameras, just visible. The first week, people only check on themselves. Then they look for the people they worry about, comforting mostly. It gets harder when the looking turns to things you weren't meant to see. The population splits, those who find it clarifying, and those who find it unbearable. Would you look? Who first? Being seen by anyone is unsettling in the abstract. Here's something far more concrete. A healthcare system that forces an impossible, specific choice. In another timeline, the Healthcare Allocation Act passed in 2029. One hospital treatment per family per year. Choose carefully. Families arrive at the waiting room having already decided who needs it most. Preventative care surges. Wasting your one shot on something avoidable is unthinkable. Small, healthy families fare best. Large families with young kids and elderly parents at once fare worst. Which, eventually, is most families. Who in your family would get the treatment this year? A hospital system built on scarcity is one kind of pressure. Here's the opposite kind. A system built entirely around whether your work makes you genuinely happy. In another branch, the Economic Authenticity Law passed in 2022. You're only paid for work you genuinely love. The system verifies it. 60% of the workforce changes jobs within a year, not forced, just financially unable to stay somewhere unfulfilling. The surprise? People don't all rush toward art. Huge numbers discover they genuinely love practical, skilled work, plumbing, care, carpentry. Those trades see pay rise as real enthusiasm replaces performed professionalism. What would you actually get paid to do here? Being paid only for what you love sounds freeing. Our final scenario removes any pretense of freedom at all, because there's nowhere left to hide what scares you. In another universe, your worst fear appeared above your head in 2020. Clear, moving, visible to anyone within 10 meters. Nobody leaves the house on day 1. By day 3, most realize the fears cluster into just a few types: loss, failure, abandonment. What people hid for years is suddenly common ground. Advertising, which always targeted fear quietly, gets caught doing it out loud for the first time. What would be visible above your head right now? 8 scenarios. 4 that started sounding like gifts, 4 that never pretended to be one. By the end, the line between them mostly disappears. Fame, memory, visibility, income, all of it sits on the same foundation as death, privacy, healthcare, and fear. Fragile systems, held together by assumptions nobody examines until something forces them to. That's the real thread through this video. Not personal versus dark, just different distances from the same quiet instability. Which of these 8 would actually change your life the most? Tell me below. Subscribe. The next video is considerably lighter. You've earned it.